I wanted to provide you with some more feedback and instruction for assignment number 7, which is the typographical assignment. And in this assignment, we're going to be working in Affinity Designer and developing some artwork that involves typography and symbols and images. So I have a couple of options and paths that you can explore that I wanted to share in this video. And so let me move my screen aside here and talk a little bit about different type of graphical solutions that you could work on and easily create using the Designer software program. So here are a couple of examples that I think are a bit challenging if you aren't able to sketch very well. You might find these to be a little harder to do because they do require uh, at least some adequate sketching skills. So here in this roots example, I would call this hand lettering typography. In other words, you are working with a pencil and you are actually sketching out the different letters. In this example, the T has been appropriated to also include some roots. And I found some pretty cool root sketching videos on YouTube. If you just do a search for that, if you're interested in doing something that includes roots. As you'll see through all of these examples here, my theme runs in the direction of roots and trees. But in this second example here, this is a kind of a Wordle focused typographical drawing, and you would also need to sketch this out because you're going to have to first of all find the words that you want to use, but also hand draw these all so that you can make them fit interconnected with one another in a really interesting and vibrant way. So with both of these two examples, you then would place the image in Affinity Designer and go into the vector or pen drawing process, which you've probably explored in some other assignments this semester. Here is actually I've opened up my Affinity Designer and I want to show you a couple of other options. In this tree charm, I call these charms or different icons. And this tree drawing, there's the basic drawing of the trunk, the roots, and the branches, and then all of these different small individual elements, some of which I drew by hand, like the lake and the buildings, and others are clip art like the buses and the people walking with shopping bags and so forth. So it's just a menagerie of different small individual icons that when put together in this composition sort of are assigned the value of being the tree's leaves and upper branches. So this could be, and a lot of these are easy to really draft using the pen tool. So this is kind of another option you could consider for this particular assignment. Here's another way of doing that, and this one might be a little bit easier. Instead of having icons and symbols, which can take a long time to draw, you can actually create the trunk and the branches of the tree, which is quite easy to do with the pen tool, and then just include a collection of words that you can create quite easily in Affinity Designer. Now, I just up here, I have everything shown as a type that's just on a straight path versus a curved path. So just to note, if you want type to curve along a path, what you need to do first is you need to draw that path, and then you just come over here to the artistic text tool. And when you move that tool in proximity of the path, make sure the path is selected and click on it. You can then type right onto that path and create that sort of look that you see here with all these other words as they sort of bend and curve between the branches of this tree. So that's kind of a fun option. And then the last option I wanted to show you quickly to keep this video short is another solution, and you'll see some of these if you download the PDF example that's in Laulima. But in this instance, I've worked with typography in a little bit of a different way. I'm creating individual letters, and then the I am replacing with an actual silhouette of a tree. And the idea here is conceptually, right? I've got the word and the idea, the notion of something being wild and being out with nature, and then I'm appropriating a silhouette of a tree to kind of pull all of that together to emphasize the word in a creative way. So you could do that as another option for this particular assignment. And again, all of this can be done in Affinity Designer. So give it a try, play around, and see what is going to work for you and what's going to be the most fun and creative for this assignment.